Test. Good morning, Butterfield. I'm Ricky Stamps, Director of Programs and Events. We have several announcements today, but first I'd like to start with Mike Wright. Mike?
Good morning, everyone. Mike Wright, Director of Healthcare Services. Uh, is that better? Can you hear me? Okay. Mike Wright, Director of Healthcare Services. Uh, this week has been a stressful week for healthcare folks. Just a couple of quick announcements. We've had our annual survey in this week, and that team has been very busy with all of what is their job to look at. I would like to say congratulations to the dietary department, both Teresa's field and Memo's field. They did a fantastic job. Life Safety was here yesterday. They did a fantastic job, and we are expecting them to exit here in the next hour. And so we will hear how we did as well. So it's been a stressful week. The water, the city of Fayetteville, that was unexpected, but we did activate our emergency operations plan. We were able to act on that, make sure we had plenty of water for our residents. We were able to fill up all of our ice machines, all of our ice chests, all of our water pitchers. We served on styrofoam because we didn't know when, if we're going to be able to wash dishes after lunch. So state was able to see all that and congratulated us on being able to act on something not only that affected the entire facility, but a team of 6 surveyors in the building at the same time. So the stress that those folks had yesterday was, I commend them on staying calm and doing their job well. So for that, I hope to be complete with that annual survey. We will work hard to correct everything that we have to correct. We'll work on our plan of correction, and we'll get that turned in. I also would like to know, I know many of you probably have already heard that I have turned in my resignation to Mr. Quinton, and I want everyone to know that it has nothing to do with Butterfield, okay? I have an opportunity to go work with my wife, which I think many of you are a client of her firm, and their firm at SWK is growing rapidly, and they're bringing on another advisor, and they've asked me to come and help them kind of gauge their growth and help their operational management team. And so it's an opportunity I didn't see coming, but I think it's good for my family and it's a good fit for me and probably a little less stressful working with that group. I love healthcare. I have been so blessed to be a part of Butterfield and to lead a team of wonderful employees. And I've met many of you. I like our relationships and the talks that we've had, and I know that some of you want to talk to me, and I would love to have that opportunity in the next few weeks coming so that we can talk about anything, any questions that you may have or concerns that you may have. Butterfield is highly sought after, okay? We are going to work hard to find a excellent candidate to take my spot, and the team that we have built is in good shape, and we're striving to continue the growth and the development that we've achieved so far. So with that, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be here and help our healthcare department be the best that it can be. And I'm happy to meet with any of you to answer any questions in the next few weeks, okay? So thank you all.
Thank you, Mike. Monday's Memorial Day, and I have a special surprise. The Arkansas Winds Concert Band will be coming for a performance at 3 p.m. here in the hall. There will be 4 ensembles, and they'll be presenting patriotic music. So I hope you can join us Monday at 3 right here. A couple of highlights on your June calendars that should be coming out really, really soon. We have a classical concert on Thursday the 1st, Saturday the 3rd, and on Saturday the 3rd, we'll host once again Eric Lawrence, who is the grandson of the late Donnie Murbitz, and he always brings us a beautiful performance, so I hope you can join for that. On Thursday the 8th, we're having Denim and Diamonds Dinner Dance. So it'll be here, and I'm trying something I've never done before. We're going to have a DJ. So that ought to be a lot of fun, and line dancers, be prepared. We will have the big dance floor, and you can boot scoot all you want to. Let's see. We're very fortunate that we're going to be able to tour the U.S. Marshals Museum in Fort Smith before it opens. So the sign-up sheets are already in the book, and this is going to be a wonderful tour that will also include lunch. And I want you to know that I've specifically allowed seating just for residents. I believe we're going to be taking a full bus, so Carriage Club will not be included on this particular event. So let's fill that bus up. And then Thursday the 29th, we're getting a private tour of the Bentonville Temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, thanks to the Renfros who have made this possible. And this is a tour that we'll be taking before they officially open. So if you have any questions about your June calendar when it comes out, just give me a call and let me know. Otherwise, I wish you all a very happy and safe Memorial Holiday weekend.
Good morning. I cannot believe it, but we only have one hike left in this hiking season, and that will be on June 12th. We're going to go to Lost Valley. We're going to leave early so that we can really enjoy being out near the Buffalo River. We're going to leave at 9:30, and we'll have lunch at Ozark Cafe. So if you're interested, be sure and get signed up for that hike. It's going to be wonderful, and it's the last one for this season. Next, I am so happy to be offering this next new class. It will start Wednesday, and it will be Wednesdays and Fridays in the convocation room at 9:30. We're going to have Ed Mink from the University of Arkansas teaching boxing. Now, you might think, why in the world do I want to take boxing? But you do. You want to put it on your calendar, and you want to be at that class. I can see that, Gwen. Anyway, why boxing will benefit you? There are several studies on how boxing helps if you have Parkinson's. So if you have Parkinson's, please consider boxing. But also, it is one of the best exercises for your brain because you're working coordination and eye-hand coordination, and you're getting all the other benefits of exercise. Not only that, but it works a specific muscle fiber called your fast twitch muscles, which are your reactionary muscles, the ones that help prevent you from falling and help you handle the unexpected. Also, it does everything else as a good workout. You're going to strengthen your core, you're going to get stronger, and who knows, we could end up with the Butterfield Fight Club. I don't know, but for right now, we will just be doing air boxing. So, put 9:30 on Wednesdays and Fridays on your calendar. Make sure and try the class. Also, the teacher will make the class. Ed Mink, I have known for 30 years. He knows so much about wellness, so much about getting stronger and healthier. So you'll also get to be a part of his 30 years or more of attaining knowledge on how to get healthy. So we're going to be really lucky to even have him on campus. So put 9:30 on Wednesdays and Fridays on your calendar, and then also consider the last hike of the season, June 12th, Lost Valley. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. I have the pleasure this morning of introducing our new resident social worker, Heather Edge. This position was previously called transition social worker, and the two are still much the same, although we've tweaked it a bit, and I think you'll see Heather out in independent living much more than you have previously seen the other social workers, so I'm pretty excited about that. But Heather was born here in Fayetteville, and she's married. She has children. She has, I think, six grandchildren, and she's also an Army veteran. She has a bachelor's in social work from the University of Arkansas, and her master's is from Fordham University in New York. And she's also a licensed social worker in this state. And she came to us from Washington Regional, where she was a case manager. And I just found out yesterday that she loves everything Disney, so she's bound to be fun. So many of you have already met her, but I hope you will, if you see her in the hallway, she'll stop and meet. And she may seek you out. She's doing a really good job of that, too. But Heather, would you like to say anything?
Sure. Good morning, Butterfield. I see some very familiar faces of those that I have already met. A lot of you I have not met yet, but I am very much looking forward to getting to know each of you. To be honest, and I did not put this in my interview, I'm not great with names. So give me some time to learn everybody's name, but there are several that I see that I do know. But I am super excited to be here, even coming from the healthcare side. Just dealing with independent living in the last 2 weeks has been such an eye-opener and has been an amazing experience for me. So I am definitely looking forward to working with each of you. My office is down the transportation hallway back there where Patricia's office used to be. So I'm between transportation and between Michael Burke's. So I would love for you guys to stop in anytime. I always have chocolate, so if that is your, see, I know how to get you. It's only one at a time. So yes, I look forward to meeting each of you. And yes, I am a huge Disney fan. So Ricky, if we do plan a trip to Disney, I volunteer as tribute. So, all right. At the end of the town hall meeting, I will be standing in the back of the room and I will have my business cards as well. I would love to say hi. Thank you.
Well, I was laughing at Jennifer's boxing class, so I'm not sure how that would work out. So my limited knowledge of boxing is I got in a fight one time with a boxer. He claimed he was at the high school boxing team, and I guess he was, because it was a 3-hit fight. I hit him, he hit me, and I hit the floor. So I learned right then, don't fight with a boxer. So that's my knowledge on boxing. So anyway, I thought I might take that class. Maybe I need to obviously improve my skills some. So, but I was surprised that I didn't realize that was a wellness thing. But except from what she was describing, it sounds like maybe it is. So. Just a couple quick housekeeping chores. It's many of our administrative staff are gone today, being a holiday weekend, and just give you a couple of quick updates. I hopefully, finally, maybe, cross your fingers, have the contract that we will sign to do the special care remodel. I'd asked the contractor a month ago to make these changes. They wasn't made. We finally got the prices and everything all settled. The contractor sent me the contract, and I couldn't have the board to approve it on Wednesday because at our board meeting, because the contractor hadn't made these changes. So I went back to the contractor and said, you got to make these changes. Anyway, she called me last night, she being the office lady who's doing this, we went through what I needed her to change, and she supposedly made those changes. I got it right before the meeting in the email with it, so I hadn't had a chance to look at it. But if everything goes well, we'll ask the board to approve it. We'll get it signed, and they're planning on starting Thursday, June the 1st. We're going to start in House 3. We're going to do what we can in House 3, and then we'll move to House 2. Now, the significance of this is House 3 is unoccupied right now. So if we can spend, if it takes 4 to 5 weeks to get House 3 done, then that means we can just leave all of our residents in place in House 1 and 2, and we don't have to inconvenience anybody for 4 to 5 weeks under this remodel. So I'm hoping this will reduce the stress on our residents in special care and their families. But our plan is the contract will specify they'll be done by September the 28th, start June 1st and done by September the 28th, which I can already tell you standing here today, I don't mean to be pessimistic, but they will not make. It will be hopefully by October 28th, but we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong, and they'll be done by September 28th. So anyway, that's all on that. The other thing is from our board meeting on Wednesday evening, the Strategic Development Committee did have our first meeting. We have identified 5 places that we have approached outside firms that do this for a living that we have approached to submit to us a proposal on what they think Butterfield needs and how we would go about doing that and what this will cost us. We've also, of course, Marilyn. Always get this wrong. Marilyn Fields is on that committee. So if you have comments, concerns, questions, please get with Marilyn and let her know your concerns or thoughts, and then she'll wrap all this up into information to give back to the main committee. So some things that we're getting a comment I've heard already is, well, there's no point in telling her because nothing's ever going to happen. And I want to say that's not true. We will look at every comment that she gets, and if you have comments, you can give them to me as well, so you don't just have to go to her. But we will look at every comments we get and see how this fits into the strategic planning process and then what we can do about it. For example, some of the comments I expect that she'll get aren't really resulting from strategic planning. Or doesn't go to a strategic planning committee. But I'd still like to look at those comments because it may be something that we can take care of. If you've got an issue or a problem, we want to try to fix it. Some things we just can't do nothing about. So in some ways, the comment, well, there ain't no point in telling them we think nothing's going to happen. It may be we can't do anything about it, and it may be you're right and there's just nothing is going to happen about it. But it also may be that it's something we can fix. So if you have comments, please let her know. Send them to me. I want to address these and look at them and see if there's anything we can do with them and try to solve them. We've got some issues at Butterfield in the sense that, our facilities are aging. One of the great things about being a 36, 37-year-old facility is, we've got great recognition and reputation in the community. But one of the bad things is some of our infrastructure is starting to age, and we've got to address those. For example, sidewalks, that's a big one. Our plumbing under the hallway floors, you've seen us have to start to fix some of those issues already. So these things have got to be rolled up, and one of the things we're going to have to address in our strategic planning is how do we keep our aging facilities modern and up to date and functional for all of us. So anyway, that's the type of things we're getting ready to start on. It'll probably be a couple of months. It'll take us to interview firms, see what this is going to cost, decide exactly what we want to do with these outside consultants, and then about 4 to 6 month window to then work with the consultants and come up with our plan. So in that regard, we're probably looking at the first of the year, or maybe the way we get around at Butterfield, probably January or February. But anyway, we're starting that process. So if you have any concerns, questions, issues, by all means, call me, get with Maryland, and we'd like to hear from you. So, and with that, that's all I can think of to bring up today, unless anybody's got questions or comments. So, yes, ma'am. The question is, for the rest of the room in the TV land, would I define what strategic planning is? And that's actually a darn good question. I'm not 100% sure what the mission of the strategic planning is. And let me explain that to you. There's multiple ways to approach this. I've been involved in these a couple of times before, and you can do them various different ways. And I know I'm being a little bit vague here. I'm not sure exactly how we want to approach this one. What the full gamut is we start with our mission and our vision, and then we do what's called a SWOT, and that's strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threat analysis. But here's basically the bottom line to it all is who is Butterfield Trail Village? What do we want to provide to our residents? Who are the residents or the people in our community who want these services? What is the market to be able to pay for these services? And then how do we provide those services to those individuals? So obviously we have to honor our commitments we made to the people sitting in this room that's looking at me now. So we've got an obligation to you. You've paid Butterfield money and you're continuing to pay your monthly fee, and we've got to fulfill our obligation to you and to make sure that you are satisfied with your contracts here at Butterfield. The flip side of it is what do the future generations want? Different people are different. We have, if you stand here and watch Joy Street, you'll see every make and model and color of car driving up and down the road. And why is that? Because everybody wants something different. So what do the new generations coming in? Basically, we'll probably target to say if you're a 65 to 70-year-old in this planning process, what do you want to see at Butterfield that will make you say, hey, I want to move to Butterfield. I want to live my retirement at Butterfield. So what will make a 65 or 70-year-old say that and then want to move to Butterfield in the future? And just let me throw out some just things we all know is coming. Car charging stations for electric vehicles. We know it's coming. Well, when is it coming? Is that something we need to rush out and do tomorrow? Is that something that's coming 5 years from now? We have 2 or 3 people with charging stations now. We're able to accommodate them. Well, is that an urgent need, or is that just something we need to have on our radar and be planning on putting in, 4 or 5 years from now, or 6 or 8 years from now? So that's just a simple example of the things that we want to come out of this process. Some more complicated is I've heard many residents say, well, we're just raising our fees so much, we're pricing ourselves out of the market. Is that really true? Are we raising our fees too much? Well, listen, we need to know this. This is a legitimate question that we need an answer to. And how do we know that? And that's equally important here is how do we know? What data do we have? Well, right now, we really don't have any data. So I would like this, and throughout this process, to come up with some kind of data on, what will the Fayetteville market bear? How do we compare to other places? When you take our entry fee and the monthly fee, how do we compare to the assisted living down the road? And now things like that, we don't need an outside consultant necessarily to know, but who is our target audience? Not our target audience, that's the wrong word, but who's our target person? Who's the person we're targeting to say they are a good candidate to move to Butterfield? Because we're not here to provide everything to everybody. You can't provide everything to everybody. So what is it we want to provide? Who are we trying to provide it to? How do we do that? And then can we do it in a sustainable financial fashion? So, did that halfway answer your question? Is that a long answer to a short question? Like I said, I don't know exactly how we'll do this. There's going to be a big learning curve on my part and in the part of the committee, and we'll have to see how this goes. I have in my mind a vision of what we need to do, and I really think we need to start with our mission and vision. Our mission was set, mission statement was set, 10, 12 years ago. Is it still valid? Normally, you need to reevaluate these things roughly every 5 years. Is this still valid? It's 10, 12 years old. It may be valid. Maybe we want to change it. As far as I've been able to cover, we don't have a vision statement. So in your vision statement, it's more defining who you are. And I'm not sure that we don't need to start with these items first, or I'm thinking we need to start with these items first and then just start through the whole process. Now, the problem with that is the whole process gets kind of expensive if we're not real careful. So we'll have to keep the budget in mind and how much money we're going to spend on this. So, but yes, ma'am. Yeah, the comment is it would be good if they came and spoke with residents, and and that's one of the reasons I said earlier. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do or how we're going to do this. In the places I've been in the past that we've done this, and there may be some reasons we want to do it this way again, but it's also the most expensive way to do this. We'd even bring not only residents, but Carriage Club members and community leaders, business leaders, and different people, selected people from the community to come in and work with us on this process. Once again, that gets pretty time consuming, and then that relates into, our bill goes way up when we start doing those things. So we'll have to decide exactly. We definitely want resident input through Maryland. We very well may have residents directly working with the consultants on this. We may well have Carriage Club, and we may even talk to some community leaders. We'll just have to see as we go through this process as to what we think we really need, how much it's going to cost us, and the benefit that provides. So we may actually even do more than just residents. So, yeah, another question? The question is there was a person working and they have a leak detector is what it's I think I've seen these before. It's kind of like a metal detector, but what it is, it's a listening device, and they hear if the water is leaking and running. But the resident saw one of those and asked if there was a listening, and didn't he know where the lines run, and the worker apparently does not have a plat of that. The answer is I don't know. That's a Joe Permy question. What should have happened when the infrastructure was put in, the water lines and all that, there should have been as-built drawings and a plat map that shows where these lines run. I don't know I'm assuming that was done, and I'm assuming Joe would have it, so I don't, but I'm just assuming. So I can't answer your question. Well, and another thing too is, that was when these were put in 20 years ago. There's been additional water lines put in since then, and the documentation may or may not have been updated. So if it's been done since Joe's here, he would know it, but if it was done prior to him, then he wouldn't know it. So that I don't, the question was, assume the city would have it on file, and I don't know. I'm assuming they had the original drawings, but if it's done after the original installation, I don't know if they would have that or not. So, yep. We have to, before our tenure here, we have to take stuff and do the best we can with it. But one thing I constantly preach to our staff is I don't want the people who come after me to be sitting there going, "What the heck was Trammell thinking? Why doesn't he have this documented?" So, when I'm gone, there'll be somebody else here, and we need to make sure that they have the information they need, like where the water lines run. So, is there any more questions or comments today? If not, wait a minute, we got one. Nancy? Yes, Marilyn is the only resident on the committee. It's a 7-person committee. We have 6 board members and Marilyn. So Marilyn will be the conduit or go-between. once again, the main conduit or go-between between the residents and the committee. We may, like I said, have residents involved in the working with the actual consultants and committee at various stages through this process. So if, once again, we get to that point, we'll determine how many residents and who, and how many carriage club and when, and that sort of thing. That's way on down the road from now. But officially as a voting member of the committee, Maryland is the only resident on it, yes. Yeah, the comment is, for those in TV land, is he hears a lot about infrastructure, but what can we do about it now, or do we have to wait through the Strategic Development Committee? The answer to that is yes and no. Obviously, we want to fix anything that we uncover. For example, when we discover, the water leak, we fix it. When we uncover that the hallway drain has to be cut out and replaced, we'll fix it when we go. There's something like 89 of those things, and we've replaced 3 of them. So I'm like, whoo, only 86 more to go. But anyway, the strategic planning will have more of a generalized plan as far as addressing our infrastructure. It won't be as detailed as replace, this individual drain, but it'll be something along the line of is replace the sidewalks and the drains as needed with a time frame of have it done in 10 years from now or something like that. So it'll be more generalized, and then we'll have to implement the details of each of those different action items under the strategic plan. So no, we won't. The plan will give us the direction, but no, we'll fix stuff when we find it. So, well, if there's no more comments, we'll adjourn for our May town hall meeting, and God willing, I'll see you at our June town hall meeting. So.